Another season, another series, another league that we get to revisit here. Blackline Championship Series opens its doors, and the sportiest stream comes with it. Welcome everybody to the sportiest stream. It's nice to see you all. What a series we have tonight. It's going to be our first of Blackline Championship Series Season 14. It's University of Connecticut Blue taking on Team Ignition. Look at those lineups, Team Ignition. We haven't seen this specific lineup from Ignition in a very long time. Again, you recognize the most is Cody. He captains this team. He also captains the Skyward Series team. Last time really seen this version of Team Ignition was probably last season of Blackline when they took on FFE Akuma. That was back in October, so that was 2 months ago. Again, that matchup ultimately could not win. I believe they lost 4-1 in that series. That was their lower bracket match. That was the last time they played. It was, again, that lower bracket matchup in the playoffs, and they got, I think, the top 6 finish from it, having won their group. So, again, this is a strong addition team on the other side. It's UConn Blue. Well, UConn itself has a strong name on the stream. We've seen the actual main UConn roster before. Of course, at University of Connecticut now has many different teams. Last time I think we saw again was that main roster. The series there as again, there's only so many matches here. Part of Blackline. These teams, again, it's part of the Contenders series. I should mention this is the second most division in the Blackline Championship Series. The Contenders series is also the biggest. 8 teams, 7 groups, 6 in total. When it comes to it, only the top 4 teams of each division will make it to that final bracket. So you have a lot that you have to do. You really need to play well if you're going to make it anywhere. Again, we know how strong these teams are. We know how we've seen Lamb, I think, on the stream before. Actually, he's a very talented player. Again, there's so many different teams and contenders that deserve to be in higher divisions. I'm just going to try to prove that his team could be one of them. Now, again, this is part of the Blackline Championship Series. Again, we're nearing we're at the very beginning of the season. This is week number 1. These teams at a 0-0 record. Again, a best of 5 will await both these sides. Hello, all of you in chat. Hello, Ziggy. I haven't seen you in a very long time. Hopefully, you're doing well. It's been like 2 months since I've last seen Team Ignition. I know you guys have been off doing your own thing. Actually, the last time we saw Team Ignition was when they combined with, aligned with Ignition, but last time we saw Ignition months ago. Again, we're going to get to that best of 5 really soon. Again, thank you all so much for joining. It does mean a lot that you guys take some time out of your day to join us for this series. Again, it's UConn for University of Connecticut on one side. Other, again, the Team Ignition side that we all know so well. And this circuit, so many actually, call themselves winners, especially in the Contender Series. Again, where there's so many teams. Again, last time we saw UConn as an org was in September when they played against Sloth Mafia in the Premier Series. Lamb was on that team. He was their last player. He was their 5th player on that roster. Obviously, now he's a captain for this team. So, since he's actually a UConn team, I think that could actually come out and really shock some people who knew, which is why they're in the Contender Series. A lot of new teams. Most of the newer teams are going to be in this series. This is a division of just every team on it says it will be. And just waiting on these teams to let us know when they're ready. Again, thank you all so much for joining. Again, hello guys, it's still me. I still look the exact same as I did last season. But hopefully all of you are doing well. As Ziggy saying, let's go bonfire. Oh yeah, the bonfire. Yeah, a lot of the bonfires tonight. I mentioned that this order can have some pretty strong supporters. Well, I know obviously Ziggy, you're one of them. How many more people are also going to be showing up as Team Ignition fans for this one? Again, a reminder, best of 5s only in the regular season, and going to be in that top 4 of 8. These teams are in the same group. Again, I think teams only play when they're in the same group. Last season, Ignition won their group. I don't think they lost at all in their group. Maybe a little tougher this season. Better teams, stronger competition, newer teams as well, like this UConn Blue team. With players who, again, have proven themselves. It's just a division that's so unproven, that's so tough to escape. You really need to do well to escape. Some of the higher divisions, you get more recognition. In these divisions, it's tough. Again, there's 56 different teams. And to advance, you have to not just surprise those who do the rankings, because it is rankings based on what the admins decide. You can't just surprise who does the rankings. You also need to do a lot of more. You need to do it strongly. Again, just waiting here as these teams are going to join on in. You guys saw I actually made a little edit. It's not B, it's Bingo now. He's actually changed his name. It's Bingo. Although he used to be known as B, then he was known as Goofy Balls before that. It is the same roster as last season for Ignition. They're not changing anybody. When there's so many teams, where they force C1s and T2s to play up against GC2s. This is not a C1, C2 team, Gray. Gray, the team you're thinking of is their Skyward Series team. That's a different roster. I can tell you, Cody's the lowest ranked player on his team. He is like GC2 now. So he's like GC1 actually. He's more like rather GC1, GC2. I can tell you, this is a different roster, my friend. Gray, this is like a GC2, GC3 roster in Ignition. Yeah, and Cody's the lowest rank. He usually is around GC1. But this is a different roster, completely, Gray. This is not their Skyward Series roster. They're different. I know, it's a little weird. They have the same captain, but it's a different roster completely. I can tell you, Bingo and Ryan would not play in Skyward. If they did, they would be in Premier. Easily, they'd be in Premier. No questions about it. So, the team you're on, which is in this group. Really? You're in this group too. What team are you on? What team are you on, Gray? I thought you were talking about Ignition, because Ignition do have a Skyward Series roster that's completely different. It is Cody, LN, and Krevl, I believe. You're on Sharks. Ooh, okay. Good luck in your matches there. I know there is also the division below that's known as the Academy Division. That's the Champ Division. That's basically if everybody in that team is a Champ player. That's probably where you'll be seeing them. These teams are now in time as well, so again, I'm excited to see what will happen. Let's get this series underway. I know you guys love to hear me talk. Not really, actually. You like to see your teams play. We'll get this going. UConn Blue, Team Ignition. Welcome to Black Lion Championship Series, Season 14. Almost at Skyward Series, very different league. Again, its rosters are free. 3v3, best of 5 Ignition. On the orange, as they usually seem to be. UConn Blue, as their name suggests, will be on the blue side. Here as the Black Lion Championship Series begins. This is the Contenders Series, this is Week 1, and this is the sportiest stream. Again, thank you all so much for joining here. We've got a series on our hands as Ignition, again, unchanged since last season. Up against the UConn team, who, again, have Lamb, who was that 5th player for that UConn main team last season, who went to the playoffs for the Premier Series, and was able to make a pretty strong run in it. Ignition also had a strong run here in the Contender Series last season, getting to the top 6 before eventually losing. First loss coming to Mach 10, their second coming to FFB. And FFB's Akuma, more specifically, who we'll probably get to see them at some point this season as well. As Ryan to clear it away. As B, that one off the post. Ignition almost with the early chances. Weak Mean trying to go the other way. And it will be Ryan who'll get to the back wall, look for the clear. And Team Ignition, I mean, already trying that aggression. It's not a surprising thing to see this team. And Ignition, they're just trying to be as consistent as they can be. One of the ways they do it, again, there's 2 main ways to do it. One of them's called Ryan, and he's just a mechanical mastermind. You really cannot let Ryan have space. else he will score. He's one of the highest ranked players. Here he is. Again, I believe he is a GC free level player. And he's also just mechanically talented. And he really utilizes those mechanics well in offense. Ignition can really do that. It really beats you. Is there a way of suffocating you? Is there a way of finding each other? Is there a way of, again, getting that chemistry? This is a roster that's been around for a while. Haven't had any changes to the starting three. Well, again, that chemistry can really carry through. But here comes UConn. Wig up. Cody will be up with it. Ignition not letting them go through is Katouche. Lamb. Lamb was one of the most recognizable players of this UConn college. I should say university, really. And he was recognizable in that last team when they were in the playoffs. He's recognizable still on UConn. And again, you're going to see him really be that team leader. Again, he has experience at the Premier Division. He has experience against technically higher level teams. It'd really be down to him to really lead UConn into his territory. As Ryan with the flip reset has it, uses it, the first goal of season 14, and it's an absolute beauty from Ryan. Flip reset up high, gets it down low, and I told you to watch out for him, because Ryan all by himself can make things happen. Goal 1, Team Ignition take it. What an early start they have, as now Ryan's got a second off the kickoff. Oh, it didn't take him long to get another as the kickoff. Just great persistence there from Bingo. And Ryan will just find the extra touch. Two goals already for Team Ignition, the team that's been in this circuit before. The team that made it top 6 last season. Again, they've won before. They won in season 11, I believe. Yeah, they won in season 11, part of the Academy division, back when their roster was Ruby, Razix, Cody, and they won as Ruby. This roster has what it takes to do it, as well as that's going to go in. It will be Ryan's goal. He's already technically got a hat trick, but that's not Ryan who got that final shot. That was Katouche. I don't really know what he was doing there. I think will really make you do strange things. Certain players, when they are in a tough situation like that, want to jump early. They don't like to wait. You can't do that. You need to play calm. You need to play kind of with your guts. Find that it works more in Rocket League than it doesn't, says Lamb. 50 by Bingo. Ryan will take it down in Ignition and keeping control. And already, again, that's one of the things that you cannot let teams run on you. As Ryan passes to Bingo. Wig will clear it away as Ignition's passing will become an issue if UConn can't stop them. Ignition prefer to utilize passing than solo plays. They can resort to it again. They have Ryan for those situations, but passes like this are going to be huge for them. As Cody, I can't believe Cody missed that one. A lot of times, if there's anybody that I call to really show up and really be that player that you have to watch for Ignition. I mentioned Ryan, but I also mentioned Cody, because Cody specifically is not going to be any sort of player that you're going to see and go and get wowed by. That's not his style. His style is not to do the flashy things. His style is just to be that, that rock there that really won't budge. And you can already see right now, sitting back a lot further than his teammates is Cody. And again, just that last line of defense, preventing any catastrophes here for Ignition. Again, this team relies heavily on Cody being at the right place, not taking early challenges. Style that he works with here. As Ryan off the corner, second touch, Wig will get there. In comes Cody, wants to make it 4. That one slowly on, and it will be kept out by Lamb as UConn Blue suffering under the vice grip of Team Ignition's offense. Here's a chance for Wig. Great save from Ryan, and Ignition again looking to not try to make this any faster than it needs to be. The pace of this year's game has definitely felt a bit slow. Especially for UConn, it felt like they haven't really been able to make their offense what they want it to be. Like they've really wanted to control this series like they wanted to be. This is I think a huge kind of notice to them that this is not going to be this is not the Premier Division. Teams are there are so many different teams. You have to get used to people so quickly. Teams are going to play in ways that maybe you don't expect. As Cody with the demo, Katouche takes it away. Double commit from Ignition, but again waiting back is Cody, and in fact, oh, he just double committed again, but Ryan will clear. Bingo kind of caught in the middle of this play. Ignition just keep it out for another second. They'll be good to go. And they let us save from it. It didn't matter. Game 1 will end. It's a Team Ignition shutout. 3 goals against UConn Blue. All of them from Ryan. Again, That's how much this team can rely on Ryan. That's how strong of a player he really is. Again, when this team does well, a lot of times you look at Ryan and you say, well, it's because of him. Again, I remind you, he's got teammates around him for a reason. He's got these teammates around him for a reason. You see, again, a lot of times, Bingo's going to be up with him. Cody's going to sit back. And again, for Ignition, it's very simple. They all have their own roles, and they all take it up very well. I want to see a little bit more involvement from Bingo and Cody on offense, from Ignition, and for UConn, I need to see them pick up that pace. Just felt like everything in Game 1 was just a bit too sluggish from UConn. Didn't really feel like they were awake for the series, and not a good start to a season if you're already getting complaints about your speed. As Ignition already putting some chances on, but Bingo will be stopped on the goal line. Lamb. Ryan. Ooh, went for the corner boost there, and that's going to be just across the goal line. Dangerously in front of nets. UConn Blue still looking for attack as Bingo wants to clear. Cody won't get to it. Bingo gets past Lamb. Wig. One touch. Still Wig, who is it long, but Cody will receive. And Ignition looking for more on offense. Cody. Corner. Ryan, he's got a flip reset on this, but he won't use it. That one cleared, and Cody's missed it! A huge miss from Cody! And UConn Blue! I don't even know if they expected that to go the way it did, but they'll take it. Wade just sent it down, and Cody pushed up. He was just too confident. He wasn't paying attention to the play in front of him. Common issue for some of these lower-ranked players in this division. Cody would technically be considered part of it. Again, this division houses teams from anywhere from GC1 all the way up to GC3. One of the biggest issues of those lower-ranked GC1, and maybe low GC2 players is they maybe don't look at the play enough. They don't look at the opposition, and then they look at the ball. And I think Cody there got caught doing exactly that. Ignition, a double commit again on the backfield. A surprising number of double commits for, again, a team with so much chemistry. As here's another one. Cody jumping up. Ryan had that, though. As Katou's going to get over Bingo. And again, the defense of Ignition is not paying attention. Eyes on the ball instead of the offense of UConn. And UConn are just clearing this. This is really simple stuff from them. Simply put, those should not be goals against teams in Contenders series. Ignition just playing a bit too confident. How many times that third man is told to err on the side of caution? Twice this game, Ignition have been caught not doing that. As Bingo to the back wall, looking for a chance as Cody, but Wig will get the beat. UConn Blue looking to try to shut out Ignition now as Ignition really could any momentum for themselves. And again, it feels like it's just all too reliant on Ryan on offense. Again, it may have worked for them in Game 1, but it's tough thing to do continuously. That's why they're going to get a pass in field. Ryan will still get the goal, but this is huge from Bingo, who, again, has been the other aggressive player with Ryan. I just haven't seen enough from him, but that pass could definitely help Ignition. Need one more. We want to tie this one up. UConn, again, off to a great start, but Ignition definitely take it back as Ryan. Touche. Ryan with the dribble. It's Ryan on himself. One-on-one Lamb, and that flick just goes up the crossbar. Ryan backing up some power with that flick, but he couldn't put it on, and Ignition still pushing, but UConn Blue are just sitting back, and now's when their slower style actually favors them. It wastes more time. It really slows down Ignition, who want to play a little faster, who definitely want to play with that pace. Again, the slower style from UConn, who definitely wastes time in this position as Ryan, the flick, dunked by Lamb. Bingo calls for it. Cody can slow the challenge, and Bingo's got to get to this one. Over to Ryan. Team Ignition still waiting as Lamb. Bingo. Through that challenge. As Katouche in the midfield. Ryan's got to wait as Wig dribble, but he did get demoed from behind. Ignition again trying to find offense in any way possible. Being a bit creative at times, it feels, because UConn Blue are just holding them back. As Ryan won't have it. Ooh, Wig didn't have it either. Maybe expecting Ryan to get that one. Was looking for the dunk. Again, UConn going to waste time here. It's a lot of time to waste, but again, their style has definitely helped them in that way, as they're just, well, to keep that ball, to keep that midfield, to really hold a fine line whenever they want to. Big Cody. Oh, second touch from Cody as Katouche. Ryan off the sidewall. Wig will read it. And Ignition with no issue get that quick. Oh, but Cody's missed this one completely. He's left Bingo out to dry a bit on this play. Bingo have a ton of boost initially. And these little mistakes from Ignition definitely costing them, but that's a good redirect from Bingo off the back wall. Lamb, they'll hit it wide. 90 seconds left here in this game. And again, UConn got this lead with about 3 minutes to go. They've wasted half that time, only letting up 1 goal to Ignition. Ready, Ignition. Gonna find another one. Ryan. He's by himself. He's got the dribble, looking for the pre-flip. Again, Lamb. He's seen that before. The last person that Ryan wants to go up against in a 1v1 in the air is Cody. Shot on, it's slow, it's under Wig. Lamb can't get to it! And it's gonna be a slow roller that fools the defense of UConn. Cody had it, didn't put a lot of power on it, and I don't know if that was his intention, but it definitely was what worked. UConn not expecting that at this level. You expect every shot to come with pace, but Cody throws the change up, and Ignition throwing the book at UConn will find something that sticks. This game is now tied with a minute to go. Ignition with the momentum as Cody wants to clear. Ryan, B-flip to Cody. Bingo maybe wanted that pinch, but instead it's now Ryan. Cleared away. But it's still in the midfield. That's open for Bingo. That shot's on. Wig will be there. Here's a chance for Cody. That's not on. And Ignition continuing to try to foil the chances of UConn Blue to take and tie the series up here as Ryan looks to the back wall. Gatouche stands his ground as Lamb gets past Cody. No second touch. Bingo. Ryan can't get the initial play. He's now going to get dunked by Wig. It's Bingo. Gatouche to the corner. Cody. Off the ceiling. It's Ryan. Still going. It's Ryan by himself. Bingo can't get the finisher. And Cody's got to waste some time. As Wig to the back wall, pinch, infield, triple commit from Ignition, but they'll clear it to the side, and Ryan might want one more chance. Lamb, running to deny, and it's a great touch to Wig, but he's actually going to keep it alive here, Wig. Going the other way, Musty to the back wall, Cody won't read it, open, Gatouche couldn't do it, now Cody again, that should be ending it, it's Lamb at 0 seconds. One mistake, one error will cost you, and Cody there, the biggest gaffe of them all. A gift to UConn Blue on 0 seconds. And this series, all tied up. I told you last game, Cody, this team relies on him heavily, and it worked for them last game so well, but this game, 2 of these goals direct results off of Cody's missed touches. And if Cody's the one who's making mistakes for Ignition, they're going to struggle. And they're going to struggle immensely. This team relies on Cody's consistency. And that's the big question mark, I think, that I always ask Team Ignition is that consistency there? So often, you know, we see them have these good runs. And then it falls apart because of some inconsistency. Because of a bad series. I think for Cody, above anyone else in this game, he's going to want to have a little bit of redemption. Game 2 went pretty poorly for him. Again, his mistakes directly cost him 2 goals against his team. Ignition will gonna have to move on past that here in their first series of Season 14. Pressure's really on them to make the right moves, to make those adjustments. UConn Blue definitely stepped up their offense, but again, it came from errors, it came from mistakes. Ignition will have to do their best to not let it happen. I will say their comeback was quite impressive, but even so, they don't want to rely on those. Play off the back wall. Lamb will take it. UConn Blue. I saw this one floating in through the midfield, and I thought maybe someone gets you it there, and it would be Wig, as Bingo just didn't have a chance. And again, a double commit from Ignition in a place where they have no reason to. Communication from Ignition is falling apart before our very eyes, and again, for a team that maybe hasn't had to play all that much between the seasons, I think we're starting to see that rust show here. And for being the team that got a top 6 finish last season, this is not the start they would want. In fact, far from it, as Lamb. Woody will reach up this one, try to get it away. Early lead for UConn, they'll look to hold it, but we know how tough that can be, as Ignition, again, are very persistent. We saw it last game. Once they get 1 goal, a second seems to follow pretty quickly after, as Ryan dunk on Lamb. Bodie, oh, and he's backflipped on it. Gatouche actually could have shot that one, wouldn't take the chance though. He thought it was just going to be a bit too easy, I think, for Team Ignition to stop it, but here comes Wig looking for another chance. Cody to the back wall. Ryan will have to help him out with a clear. Ignition again. Don't have any subs. This is their starting roster. This was their starting roster last season. They had no subs last season either. Again, this is the 3 players they rely on. And right now, it just feels like that cohesion, that teamwork isn't there. It just feels like they haven't been able to find each other as easily. And I think a lot of it comes down to them just, not being able to, maybe not having a lot of time in between series to get themselves warmed up. UConn Blue, again, swinging out of the gates, definitely looking like a team that can compete here with Ignition, especially with Ignition having such a slow start. As Wig. Chance as Ryan will get past one, but Lamb will have this one. Lamb still with it. Runs out of boost, but maybe looking for the pass. Bingo! Sends it away. Ignition. Chance to try to get one, but again, it's just that midfield from UConn that is such a stickler for any sort of challenge. Continue to win, is now an infield pass. Lamb couldn't score. Wig jumping. Bingo will beat him. Cody. Wig trying to push him out. As now Wig just dunked out his own teammate. Ryan got bumped. Ignition again. Another chance on offense that's quickly taken away. And again, that midfield being under fire as Cody's going to take it. Wig will react, but Cody... Oh, he should have had that one to the midfield. Ryan and Bingo were both waiting. Ignition be a bit dissatisfied. Their offense has just been at a loss in this game so far. A lot of it just coming into those rotations, not being what they need to be, not finding each other. Feels like they're more panicked as now pass to Cody! Oh, what a save from Katouche! Ignition looked in the midfield, Ryan, with a perfect pass. And yes, somehow Katouche gets to it. UConn Blue keep their 1-0 lead as the Katouche survives it on the goal line. Now Ryan, the pinch away. UConn. The back wall goes Katouche. Ryan can't beat him. Cody. It's going to go to the midfield. Lamb want to make it too. Bingo. We'll get there, but a little test from UConn. Second goal would be lovely for them. Again, they've only had one. Well, they've had, again, while it has been, one where they've been controlling it, their shooting itself has been out of a low quality here from UConn. They really haven't had that many chances in the first place. Ignition just waiting in front of nets is Katouche. And no shot at the end of that play. Cody will just clear it. As Lamb has Wig on the sidewall. He just has it himself, but I got a boost. He's got to have Wig follow. And Ignition still aimless and being upfield is Cody. Bingo is there. Cody, the fake. Up with Bingo as well. A double commit from Ignition means Ryan cannot challenge this. In fact, he might be a bigger issue there at Lamb's second touch. Ignition again just caught. Running back as Cody's missed it. Ooh, that could have been Katouche's there to seal it. Now Lamb, saved by Ryan. Mistake from Cody here at the end of this game could really, I think it would really end their chances of taking this one, as I don't see them getting more than a single goal here at the end of this game, as Bingo straight to the offense of UConn. Ignition again just searching for something. Haven't got it. They haven't gotten it very well. Offense again is just being stopped quite too effortlessly here from UConn, as that should end it. It's off the back wall. Cody can't beat it. UConn Blue now with match point. Again, it's Ignition who have just not stepped up to the plate. 6 shots, the same number as Lamb. Again, I just didn't feel like the offense from Ignition was memorable. They lost it because of the midfield. Go to game 4. This series coming, I can't speak. Kind of coming near to its end. UConn Blue again, a new roster. Will be huge for them to take their first win against a team as good as Ignition. Go into game 4. Team Ignition trying to find themselves with... They're trying to force that game 5. Pressure's on UConn, putting on so much pressure. Need to do it again, and I do expect this to be something that UConn can do consistently. I mean, we saw how dominating they were last game with it. This game, I don't see any differences. Oh, what a shot from Katouche! My goodness, Katouche! I mean, could you place that any better? Straight to the top of the net. And he just gave Ignition no chance to save that one. Katouche with a slow shot, but it's perfectly placed. Team Ignition stunned at the start of this game. Again, UConn, another early lead. Gotten so many of those. It shows you just how well they like to start these games off. Just how strong and imposing their midfield is from the first kickoff. As here comes Ryan. Dunked away by Lamb, who a great save again. This is definitely showing here for Lamb. Oh, that's bad timing. There's Lamb will miss that one, but it will be cleared by Wig to Katouche. Ignition want the clear as Bingo. Lamb, he's hit it backwards. Wig will have to slow things down, but that touch goes straight to Bingo, and that net's open. Ignition will answer with one. UConn Blue, I think last thing I expected was that touch from Lamb. Wig definitely wasn't ready for it. He didn't have any boost in the backfield. And all he could do was just shuffle it to the side, hope that Ignition would miss their chance. They wouldn't. It's an unfortunate touch there from Lamb, who I think just wanted to keep offense. Maybe he wanted to center in the midfield. Whatever it is, it goes against him. Team Ignition. An answer, but answer is one thing. Getting the lead is another. Cody trying to do it here, but that's just too weak. Wig sends it to the midfield, but Ryan to Bingo. That's still stopped in Ignition. Push as far as they can as Lamb. A shot on! Oh, what a stop from Ryan. Bingo will clear it away. And Ignition, oh, what a shot from Bingo! No way, he's got that! Oh my goodness, Bingo! Another goal! And what a way to really get your name in here. Bingo has, so far this series, been happy to let Ryan take control. But now it's his turn to take the offense and take the steers of this one. Ignition. Alliance on that offense, and it's Bingo who provides it here. As now Ryan wants three, but it will be Lamb to stop. Still has offense. Ryan, 50, sets up Cody, and that's going to be saved by Lamb. He backed up into it. Oh my, Lamb with a backup play. And now he's going to get this one. Another stop from Lamb. The defense stands strong for UConn. And we still have almost 3 minutes to go. Lamb going to get that confidence back into his roster. There's still a lot of game time for them. A lot of time for them to take the series here in Game 4. As Ryan with the clear. Ignition. Still not going to play defensively. They're looking for that third goal. They want a multi-goal lead. UConn definitely forcing them back as that one wide. But here comes Lamb! The follow-up from UConn. And it's 2-2. Katouche left it for Wig. UConn again. It's such a quick offense. It's just all of a sudden you snap, you blink, and you miss it. University of Connecticut. It's a quick surprise attack. Ignition. They've got a lot more they've got to do if they want to force Game 5. UConn do not want to make it easy. And in fact, they're doing just that. They're not making it easy. This is a UConn team, again, I compare similarly to last game. That they are controlling that midfield. They are doing well at getting through the midfield in the first place as Wig. Again, through, trying to get the 50 on Ryan. Bingo off the corner. Cody wants it clear. Katouche. Keeping it in, but he's misflipped there, and it will be Ignition's ball, but sent away again, just straight to UConn. Ignition, so many clears, so much reliance on the clears. And UConn is going to dribble with it as Wig wants one more. He's dropped it in. Wig, where are UConn? The lead will flip to their side as Lamb again for the midfield. The decisive touches always seem to come from Lamb. And Ignition got there as Lamb 1v2 to 2 players to the midfield on Ignition and had the finish come from Wig. As Lamb, the dribble. Cody keeps it high. Bingo. Wig will dribble it. Ryan trying to back up. Wig with the flick. Here comes Cody. The Katouche of UConn. And he almost fit that in. Wig directing to the side. And look at this from UConn. Playing keep away. A force Ignition to use their boost. Shouldn't keep control. It's Ryan, the dribble. Ryan trying to go down the field. Bingo. Oh, he ran into a UConn player trying to go for that one. And Ignition forced back, and there still might be a minute left for them. It is on paper a good amount of time for them. It's not a lot considering how UConn will slow things down. Considering how reliant UConn are, and you're not trying to play super fast. Considering how UConn is going to get a fourth goal with that one on from Katouche, but he's missed it. Follow-up will go in. And it is 4-2. UConn Blue. I thought that first chance was on from Katouche. It would go just wide, but he's got the follow. UConn Blue. They're trying to start their season off as best as they can. Again, if they can take down a team as good as Ignition, there's got to be some people who might want to be a bit more concerned of how well this UConn team will play playing in the future, because on your radar, this is again, Ignition are not an easy team to take down. And UConn doing it so well, again, slowing that play down and really taking down Ignition. Because of those mistakes, because of that midfield that just is so tough to break in. Well, Lamb himself had a standout series, and I see no other person to name as like an MVP candidate than Lamb. UConn midfield was not Lamb's doing, was not all of Lamb's doing. Katouche specifically definitely had a strong defensive posture as UConn Blue look to end this one here as a dunk from Wig will secure it there. Start of the season for UConn Blue will go their way. Ignition, who were undefeated last season going in the playoffs, have now lost in week 1. UConn Blue, the ones to take them down, and what a start to season 14. UConn Blue taking down one of our top contenders from last season. And a 3-1 decisive win. UConn looked incredible. Again, Lamb specifically, again, another standout performance, but really was, again, impressed by Katouche. Katouche himself certainly did well on holding the midfield. And UConn Blue are the winners. That's week 1 for UConn. In Ignition, their return to stream after 2 months being gone. Not a start they would like, but it is going to tell you just how tough this season's going to be, especially in the Contenders series. Again, a great best of 5. As again, we're going to get UConn Blue in the chat a little bit. Again, that's a black line here. And it's UConn Blue taking down Team Ignition 3-1. Again, a really strong performance. I was impressed by UConn. And again, Lamb, I knew how he was going to play. I knew Lamb was a solid player from his time in the Premier Division last season. Again, I didn't know his teammates as well, but they've definitely impressed me. And this will be a team, again, you'll want to look at going into the future of the season. As joining me here is Lamb, is Wig, and I have a feeling it's going to be Katouche who will also be joining us. Yes, hello welcome in Katouche. A best of 5 series, a win, Lamb. Again, a huge win for you guys, a 3-1, a great start to the season again for, I think, being a new team, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a new team. Yep. Again, a great start for you. You know, how are you feeling now? I know you've had your experience in this backline, and again, I mentioned your experience specifically in the Premier Division, Lamb, so going to Contenders, it's a bit of a different division. There's a lot more teams, still some tough gameplay, but tell me what it's like to get that first win, especially for, again, a team and a roster as new as you guys.
Yeah, it feels really good. This is actually our first, real match of the season because a lot of other things got delayed or called off. So we're really excited to play, and we're really glad we took a win home for the first game.
Yeah, happy. And again, I was questioning, you know, how are your teammates going to play today? And Wig, well, you had an insane performance. The defense was strong from both you and Katouche, and again, just a strong performance. Again, going up against Ignition, I mean, you may have heard about how strong these guys were last season. Again, they came out of the groups undefeated. I mean, did you even know about that? And if you did that change anything? It didn't seem like it did, but you would need to know. Again, now that you can, and now that you know, obviously, if you didn't know before, does it change, the way you kind of look at the series?
Actually, yeah, I had no idea. I don't know. Were you asking Wig?
I was asking Wig, but sure.
Okay,
Lamb's
yeah,
so
go
eager.
ahead.
Lamb's so eager. He wants all the questions tonight.
Sorry,
Lamb.
yeah,
I'll ask you a
ahead,
couple
Wig.
more later.
Okay.
All right, yeah. Well, what I was gonna say is, I had no idea that they came out strong. I just knew a couple people on the team from Lamb, and I just knew they were pretty strong. I'm glad we played how we did.
Guys looked incredible again, and just consider well. Our next one we'll go to Katouche here again. That season starts, and it is the Contender Series again. There's 56 total teams in here. What is it? What about you guys? Because think of it like a sales pitch. The start of the season, you guys need to come out strong, and you guys did. What about you guys? Is championship contending? Because out of these 56 teams, 6 teams, only half of you guys are actually going to make the playoffs, and out of those teams, only a few of them are actually going to be recognized in that top bracket. It's so tough to get recognized in the Contender Series. There's so many teams. So, Katouche, again, it's a sales pitch. Convince me. You've already convinced me in the series, but convince me in talking to me. What about you guys? Is going to let you guys win the whole thing? Is going to be a championship contending team?
You know, finding out how good Ignition did last season, and I think we're really just getting started. So, as well as we play today, I think it's only going up.
Bringing the confidence here as Lamb. I know you've been eager for those questions, so we'll get you another one here, Lamb. It's all right, buddy. Don't worry. I've had that happen all the time. It happens, so don't worry too much about it. But again, you guys played well. You guys are just again, you guys look strong. And again, what are you guys gonna do? Again, you said this was gonna be your first time together as a team, really in a competitive setting. So what are you guys gonna do to maybe prepare even more for your next series to, continue to be this strong? Because week in, week out, it's tough to be consistent in this league, but teams can do it. And generally speaking, the best teams in the league will be the ones that are the most consistent. So what are you guys going to do to support this level of consistency?
Honestly, I think just playing together with this team, like spending hours together, just grinding and keeping our hours up is important. I know we're all pretty busy with school, so it's hard to play the game sometimes, but yeah, I think the more we play together, we just get really comfortable, and like we're figuring out all the flaws and errors in our gameplay that have been leading to us getting scored on a lot. So I think, yeah, like Mike said, we're only going to get better from here.
Congratulations on your win, a 3-1 over Team Ignition, who made it to the top 6 in that bracket last season, who came out of the groups undefeated. You guys took them down here and made it look easy. So you guys are definitely going to be on the radar of a lot of teams now after this first week performance. Again, congratulations. But before you go, we'll get some quick shout outs. We'll get some final messages because again, I think because every team that gets into these interviews deserves to have them. So we'll start with Wig. We'll go down the line. So Wig, any shout outs, any statements that you want to make here? Is there anybody out there that you'd like to thank for supporting you?
I'd just like to thank my team, for giving me this opportunity. I just want people to know that, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna do my thing, and this is gonna be great.
Good. As now we'll move on to Katouche, or M Katouche actually. Is there anything that you'd like to add to that? I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
Yeah, you got it.
Katouche? Cool.
Yeah, one of the rare times someone gets it right first time. So
I want to hear now. I'm gonna go a little off topic. How do people usually pronounce it?
People usually think it's like Mikatouche.
Oh, Mikatouche.
Instead of like M Katouche, but it is M Katouche.
Well, I'm happy I got it correct. I probably should have asked Lamb beforehand. But I'm happy. You know what? My cast instinct's coming to me. I'm usually terrible with names. Usually if there's like 2 options of how to pronounce a name, I always choose the wrong one. And it's not by intention. And today is a nice day for that. And congratulations on your win. Is there anything you'd like to add? Anybody that you'd like to shout out in helping you get this point? To any last messages you'd like to state?
I'm gonna kind of do a similar thing to a Wig. I'm gonna say shout out to all the UConn guys. I've kind of been on and off UConn rosters for a while, so I'm always glad to play with these guys time in and time out.
Again, impressive to say the least. Again, congratulations on your win. As now we'll end with Lamb. I know again it's not our first time that you've been here, Lamb. Again on that UConn main roster last season, but now on UConn Blue. Is there, in the context of this series, anybody you'd like to thank? Anybody you'd like to shout out? Anybody that you'd like to mention?
Yeah, shout out Lamb fam, my supporters, my homies, always watching. Shout out my girlfriend. Shout out the team. Shout out the 2 subs we got, Maxim and Icy. They're always ready to sub in, so I appreciate that a lot. Shout out the boys at UConn, of course, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Again, congratulations on your win, a 3-1 takedown of Team Ignition here on the stream. Congratulations on your win, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. As again, congratulations. Have an amazing rest of your night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great night.
And that was Lamb, Katouche, and Wig joining us here for that one again. Our only match tonight. It was a best of 5, and it ended relatively swiftly as a huge win, a huge series for them. I'm sure they'll be proud of themselves here on UConn Blue. But that's it for me. Thank you all so much for joining this stream. We'll have more matches tomorrow, and in fact, we'll have matches all around the week here coming from the Blackline Championship Series. But for now, have a great night, everybody. I'll see you soon.